I've gone down some rabbit holes before, but none that are quite this deep. The entire internet was against me finding the root, the origins of this drink. And that drink is the Corpse Survivor number 3. Now there are a lot of Corpse Survivor cocktails. A while back we did a video on 7 different Corpse Survivors. But when I was doing the research in that video, I got to number 3 and found 1 million plus recipes out there, all claiming to be the Corpse Survivor number 3. But I couldn't find any evidence to pin down which one was the true Corpse Survivor number 3. So in that video, I decided to skip the Corpse Survivor number 3 altogether. But today, we are gonna do it. So come with me on my journey as I scoured the internet, as I dug through all of my cocktail books to get to the root of this problem, to this mystery. I've narrowed it down to 3 possible recipes, which we will make at the end. One, I believe, is the true Corpse Survivor number 3. So stick around to the bar. The Corpse Survivor number 3, or should I say the many Corpse Survivor number 3s, is one of the most mysterious drinks in cocktail history. Search it online and you'll find all sorts of recipes. A Campari Sour, a Cognac and Benedictine number, even a few that actually sound pretty good. But none of them mention where they came from or how old they are. And that's where this mystery begins. So I decided to track down the real Corpse Survivor number 3, if such a thing even exists. Chapter 1. We're going back to the beginning. Our story starts in 1871 with the first printed Corpse Survivor. That drink, if you remember from the original video, was Cognac, maraschino liqueur, and Boker style bitters. We served at room temperature. It was fine, but that was the original one, okay? Now fast forward to 1930, when Harry Craddock publishes the Savoy cocktail book. This one, right here. In it, he introduces the now famous Corpse Survivor number 2. Obviously, you can't have a number 3 without a number 2, so that's where the trail begins. I also knew that shortly after this book came out, we start seeing a number of different Corpse Survivors. So I assumed around that time is when we get the Corpse Survivor number 3. Now there is something called the Savoy Corpse Survivor number 3, which is Cognac, white creme de menthe, and Fernet. It's basically a minty stinger, but it's not in Craddock's book. It came later, sometime around 1948 or 1954, depending on who you ask, and no one's quite sure who invented that. And here's the real kicker. It wasn't even called a Corpse Survivor number 3 until 1997, when Salvatore Calabrese printed it in Classic Cocktails. This one right here. So that can't be the original. That was my dead end number 1. Chapter 2. The next lead takes us to 1937 and the Café Royal cocktail book. That timing fits, it's 7 years after the Savoy, and according to the internet, there are 4 Corpse Survivors in this book. Allegedly, one labeled Absinthe, and that is supposedly known as the mysterious number 3. So I flipped through every page to find it, looking at every single recipe, and I found no such cocktail called the Corpse Survivor Absinthe. I even asked ChatGPT to find it because it insisted it existed. And then after a long time of thinking, it admitted it was wrong. The robots don't know everything. Long story short, that was just another dead end. So on to chapter 3. Then came a glimmer of hope, the official mixer's manual from 1956 by Patrick Gavin Duffy. Not the actor from Dallas, in case you're wondering, a different Patrick Duffy. I tracked down a used copy of this book, opened it up, and there it was. Corpse Survivor number 3. Finally, a printed recipe. Except there's a twist. That exact same recipe exists in The Artistry of Mixing Drinks from 1934, where it lists that recipe as the Corpse Survivor number 2. So we've got 2 books, 1 drink, 2 numbers. The numbering system is officially broken. Still, I was ready to call Duffy's version the winner, because at least it was called the number 3, the first time we ever saw it printed, until I stumbled upon a story that changed everything. Chapter 4. Kara Strickland, writing for Tales of the Cocktail Foundation, mentioned an obscure 1934 book called 1700 Cocktails for the Man Behind the Bar. The name like that, clearly it's an old book. I've never heard of this book. And in that book, she quoted a cocktail that is titled the Corpse Survivor number 3. Exactly what I was looking for. From 1934, exactly the right time frame. Printed just after Craddock's number 2 and decades before Duffy. I've never seen the book myself. I looked. It's long out of print and there doesn't appear to be a public PDF available. I could grab a used copy for the low, low price of $1,500, which is tempting, but not that tempting. But based on her description, the drink is layered maraschino, brandy, and curacao, with one note in all caps, do not ice. And that's when it hit me. That's incredibly similar to the original Corpse Reviver from 1871. Room temperature and spirit forward. It even shares 2 of the 3 ingredients. So after all that searching, it felt like the story had come full circle. And maybe the true Corpse Reviver number 3 was not about being something new. It was just a quiet nod to the original. And it was forgotten about. So I'm gonna bring it back here today. Let's make some cocktails. We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Helix Sleep, which feels pretty fitting now that it's cozy season. Weather's getting cooler, blankets are coming out, and honestly, going to bed has kind of become my favorite time of the day. Helix makes premium mattresses that are delivered right to your door. No more schlepping it from the store and strapping it to the roof of your car. They have over 20 unique mattresses to choose from, plus new mattress toppers, so you really get the perfect fit. When we got this mattress, Oz and I took the Helix Sleep Quiz, which matches you with a mattress based on your sleep position and preferences. They ask you questions, how you sleep, whether you sleep on your belly, on your back, on your side, toss and turn, if you sleep hot. It only takes a couple minutes and we were matched with the Dawn Luxe. In the lineup, the Dawn is the firmest in the selection. It is supportive, it breathes, so I don't get all sweaty. I just lie there and sleep. That's all I have to do. And Oz likes the tufted top. Just supports you like a cloud. We've had it for a few months now. And I gotta tell you, it's completely changed the way I sleep. I used to wake up a few times in the middle of the night because I was a hot sleeper, and now I can sleep comfortably through the night. Yay! Honestly, I didn't know how bad our last mattress was until I got this one. And Helix has their Happy with Helix guarantee, which makes it super easy to try one for yourself. You get a 100-night sleep trial, so you have over 3 months to make sure it is exactly what you want. And if it's not, they'll come and pick it up and refund you 100%. Right now, they're running their fall savings event, which gets you 20% off site-wide. So, just use the QR code or click on the link down below. That's helixsleep.com/Anders Erickson and check it out. Thanks, Helix. Onto the film. We're gonna make 3 Corpse Revivers. Number 1, the Corpse Reviver number 3 from the Savoy, 1948 or 1954. We're gonna need Cognac, Crème de Menthe, and Fernet. From what I understand, the original recipe was all equal parts. But if you know anything about these bottles, that is a lot of Fernet. It's gonna really wash out everything else. It's just gonna be a big mint bomb. This is already gonna be minty. So I've adjusted the ratios. I think other bartenders will adjust it this way as well. It's essentially a stinger with a little Fernet. So let's make it. I usually shoot for 3 ounces of booze, but I'm gonna drop this back because I want a smaller version. So let's start with 3/4 ounce Cognac, to that 1/2 ounce of the Crème de Menthe and 1/4 ounce Fernet Branca. If you'd like to have a standard size cocktail, just double these measurements. Add ice and stir. I don't understand these all spirit Corpse Revivers. The idea is a hair of the dog, something easy to drink to get you back on track the next day. Double strain into a cocktail glass. Kind of looks a little short. There we go, that is it. You could express lemon oil across the top if you want, but that mint is already very present. I'm going no garnish, Savoy, Corpse Reviver, number 3, cheers. It's big flavor. I gotta say, to me, it's like a dessert cocktail. You know, it's minty. The liqueur, the Crème de Menthe, has a good amount of sugar, so it's got some viscosity, it's got some texture. It's not a bad drink. If I were to double this up, I might even pour it on the rocks. Not what I would want after a night of heavy drinking. Next one is Corpse Reviver number 3B. Patrick Duffy's Corpse Reviver number 3 from the official mixer's manual. To make it, we will need pastis, fresh lemon juice, and a dry, bubbly wine. So the original recipe that we read in the book calls for Pernod, which is a type of pastis. You could, if you wanted, use absinthe because pastis is an absinthe substitute without the wormwood, which back then everybody thought made you go crazy. I'm using a different pastis. This is a favorite of mine, the Ricard. but you can use any you want. You could use absinthe, but I would suggest adding a little bit of sugar as well. The original recipe also calls for champagne. I am using a small bottle of cava because it's just one cocktail here. I don't need to go out and buy a nice bottle of champagne. You do you. This one we are gonna build right in the glass. I'm gonna grab a small highball and fill it with ice. And then right in the glass, we can add 1 ounce of pastis, half an ounce of lemon juice. I'm gonna give that a little stir here. You can see the luge already taking place. It gets cloudy. And then with our fine bubbly wine, the finest, pop. Say 3 to 4 ounces of sparkling wine. Go, I'm just gonna gently give it a stir. And because I have it, I'm gonna hit it with some lemon oil. Go, hit the sides. And there we have Patrick Duffy's Corpse Survivor number 3. Cheers. See, that's good. To me, like that is kind of what I think of when I think of a Corpse Survivor. It's bright, bubbly, it's acidic with that lemon juice, but there is a subtle sweetness from the pastis. But I will say that by the end of this, I think my tongue would probably go numb. It's a lot of those oils in the pastis. That's just kind of the effect it has. And if you're sensitive to that licoricey flavor, this is not your drink. Just like if you are sensitive to mint, you're not gonna like the first one we made. So maybe the last one, the original, is the one that's for you. So far, I would pick Duffy's over the Savoy. Now let's make the true, what I believe to be the true Corpse Survivor number 3. And I had never had this before, but we're gonna give it a shot. And again, I wanna say that all of this is made possible because of the article that Kara Strickland wrote. So thank you, Kara, if you're watching this. Without it, I would have had to buy a $1,500 book, and maybe I will one day, but I don't have it now. So for the 1934 Corpse Survivor number 3, we will need maraschino liqueur, orange curacao, and cognac. My understanding is that this is a layered drink, but I'm guessing it's meant to be served like a pousse café. In which case, you kind of have to like think about what you're working with. In the recipe or the excerpt that I saw, it said maraschino, brandy, and curacao, but the curacao is actually heavier than the brandy, so it's gonna wanna sink. So I'm going to do this maraschino, cognac, or brandy, and curacao on top. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm gonna do it this way. I got that backwards. It's gonna be maraschino, curacao, and then the cognac or brandy if you're using brandy. If it's layered like a pousse café and you were to drink it like a pousse café, you would sip it layer by layer. I presume you'd have it with a cup of coffee, but I know what each layer is gonna taste like, so I'm doing this in shot form. I'm gonna do it all at once. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna do 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, all equal parts. Each one is gonna be about half an ounce, and I'm going to gently layer one on top of the other. I believe the heaviest is gonna be the maraschino, followed by the curacao and then the cognac, so wish me luck. Let's go right about there, maybe. All right, so here we go. Let's see how this goes. I put on a pour spout so that I can control the flow. It has a little hole right here that lets the air in and pushes the spirit out. So I'm gonna cover this hole so that I can gently let the air in so it doesn't come out too quickly. All right, hey, that worked. Here we go with the cognac. Right on top, carefully. Ah! I did it! It's not entirely even. There we go, there we go, there we go. Yeah, oh man, that's perfect. Whoever that person is that came up with this cocktail would be proud of me for doing that. Look at that, here. You know, by looking at it, what this makes me think of, being the Halloween spooky season, it makes me think of candy corn. Okay, so again, you could sip this layer by layer, but we all know what those layers taste like. So I'm just going to do this all at once. See how these flavors work together. Okay, everybody, this is what I believe to be the true Corpse Survivor number 3. Cheers. It's good. It's actually pretty good. I gotta say, no, all of that works really well together. There is a fruitiness, kind of the, you know, you got that orange in there, of course, but then there's like a kind of a funky, musty flavor from that that Luxardo or that Maraschino. This to me is not a cocktail. So maybe this is why it immediately fell out of fashion. I mean, you compare this to the Corpse Survivor #2 that's in the Savoy cocktail book, and yeah, no, people are gonna be enjoying the #2 for a long, long time. This one is a bit more of a novelty. I like the story behind it more than anything. Before we wrap up, Oz, can I offer you a taste of any of these old Corpse Survivors? This one?
I know I'm not gonna like it. For people who like these flavors, I think they're gonna like it.
That was very diplomatic of you. You do not like these flavors.
No,
Here,
this one, that's better.
You prefer this one?
I prefer this one.
And I'll make you a small one?
Of half.
Okay.
Look at that, a half one, and he got it right.
A halfie. She loves it.
It's not bad.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
okay,
not bad.
It's not bad.
Unfortunately, although I love the nod to the original 1871 Corpse Survivor, I think it was destined to be forgotten. But it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And we did that. And thank you so much for watching this video and going down that path with me. By the way, if you need any of these liquor bottles, check out House of Bitter Bear. We got them over there. People in the know call it Hob. They're like, where'd you get that, Hob? Yeah, I picked it up at Hob. Thank you, Helix Sleep, for helping me sleep at night and sponsoring today's film. We'll see you next time. Cheers.